Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm coming to you live from the Mompreneur Tribe. For those of you I don't know, my name is Anjali Varma, and I am a business coach and influencer, and I host the Mompreneur Tribe in Facebook. If you're watching it from there, hello, and thank you for being part of the tribe. If you're watching it from one of my other channels, would love for you to head over to Facebook and join our interactive group where we do a lot of resource sharing, connecting, and collaborating. And if you're interested in kind of one-on-one sessions, I do that as a business coach and also offer virtual and in-person in DC masterminds. So that's a little bit about me. I like to go live once a week to share different resources to help entrepreneurs grow their business. And today I'm really excited to have special guest, Kanani Briggs. Hello, Kanani.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. Happy to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited about our topic today. And I know that when I brought this up on my last Facebook Live and also have kind of been teasing it, that people have been really excited because I haven't really done anything around this topic. And that is the idea of pricing. And specifically, Kanani and I are going to be talking today about how to figure out how to price and how to get the right price for your services and or your business. And Kanani and I were chatting before we went live here, just talking about how women specifically are sometimes hesitant or undervalue themselves. So wouldn't you agree, Kanani? First, before I dive into that, tell me 2 seconds about yourself so everyone knows your expertise and where you're coming from.
Thank you. So I am a business and life strategist, and my name is Kanani Briggs, and I've been working with women entrepreneurs and women small business owners and home-based business owners, and really working with them and what comes up. And I'm going to dive right in because I know we have a limited amount of time, and I want to make sure that you get a lot of value because this is such a hot topic, and it is for women. And unfortunately, it just is. But women have a hard time talking about money when it comes to their products and services and their business. And a lot of that, and we don't have time today to go into why that is, but a lot of that has to do with mindset and really undervaluing, not believing in the value that we have to offer. So that's a lot of what we're going to talk about today, but it is a super common question. People, they just have a hard time talking about it. They back away from it. They start discounting. They get nervous. They're just not even confident when somebody says, how much do you charge? They backpedal and don't know what to say. So we're going to take a stab today at changing that and giving you the confidence that you need to really charge what you're worth and get it. So,
and I feel like I can relate to all of those things. So I am like very personally excited. And I think as I mentioned in my newsletter and I think in other channels, like kind of teasing this, so many of us are service providers, right? Or time is literally money for us. So it's so important. And I know you're going to get into a lot of this afterwards, that we're really putting the right dollar value on the time that we are, delivering to whoever it is that we're working with.
Yeah, that's such an important part of it, and I am going to talk about it. I want to just really quickly start with, and I touched on it already, mindset. So the foundation to being able to really charge what you're worth and get it, the foundation starts with your mindset. So believing that you're worth that amount and believing that you're delivering value to your clients is key. And so really, a really quick tip that you can do is really try to step into, so say you charge $500 for your service. What if you were to add a zero to it and you charge $5,000? Does that make you totally freak out? Or are you like, oh yeah, $5,000? So if it makes you totally freak out, it means that there is something going on. There's a limiting belief that's happening that makes you feel like what you're doing is not worth $5,000. And we would take time to really kind of dig in and figure that out. But that's kind of like a ding, ding, ding bell in your head saying, I might have some mindset issues that are holding me back from really owning my value and stepping up and charging what I'm worth. So mindset is the key. And we don't have enough time. Mindset is such a big topic. We don't have enough time to go today, but I want you to do that test. I want you to take what you charge, add a zero to it, and kind of see how you feel about that. And if you feel uncomfortable, or if you feel totally freaked out, that is your first clue that you might want to do a little more digging to understand what the beliefs are that are not supporting and not serving you. And that leads me into the next step, which is really understanding the value that you provide. So we're all really talented, gifted women. We have a lot to share, and really understanding how what we do impacts our clients' lives is huge. But oftentimes we don't stop to really think about it. So I want you to think about these things. Think about the product or the service that you offer, and think about how the results that you get from someone working with you will impact them in these different areas. So how will the results impact them in their finances or in their money situation? How will the results impact them with their health or with their well-being? How will those results of working with you impact them with their family or with relationships? Or how will those results impact them with their business or with their career? So take some time after this Facebook Live or when you watch this, and just really journal that, write it down, and think about it, and really step back and say, wow, what I do really can make a significant impact. And when you're able to do that, when you're really able to own the value and the impact that you can have in a positive way on your clients' lives in probably more than one of those areas, it helps you be confident. It helps you puff your chest out a little bit more and feel more confident in those higher price points that you want to charge. So that is.
Are you arguing that anybody should be able to add the 0 to the 500? Like, isn't there different levels of expertise and professionalism and all those things? Or are you saying that anybody can be charging more than they are, essentially?
So I will go out on a limb and say that probably 90% of the women who are going to watch this can be charging more than they're charging now. Now, whether it's the adding the zero is really more of like a gut check to test your mindset. But I will say that in all of the clients I've worked with, everyone is undercharging and over delivering. It's a lot in our nature. We want to help people, especially those of us who go into a service business. We want to help people. So we are almost, predetermined to over deliver and undercharge. So I will strongly say that at least 90 to 95% of women can charge. They might be able to double it. All of those things, there are guidelines and things we use to calculate that, but absolutely everyone can charge more than what they're charging now.
Wow, this is crazy. This could be like a game changer for some of us, right?
It absolutely is. And that actually leads to the next step, which is really understanding the costs of the service or the products that you provide. So, a lot of us, if you're a coach or if you're a consultant or a graphic designer or copywriter, you may be thinking about your time in terms of hours. Okay, this project will take me 6 hours, or I'll do 6 coaching sessions with this client, and that, will be 6 45-minute sessions. So I want you to stop thinking about your time in terms of hours, because what's happening is if you just look purely at your delivery time in terms of what you would charge, you're completely forgetting all of the other things that go into you being able to provide this service. So I'm sure you have advertising, whether you're doing, Facebook, or you have a website, you have a scheduler, you have all of these things that support you being able to deliver that service to the client. And all of those things need to be factored into what you're charging. So I really always recommend that people try to move away and not quote their pricing in hourly quotes. Move away from that, go to package pricing, and do something like that. And we get really creative and specific with the clients to help them figure out how to really capture all of those costs, the hidden costs that you're not even thinking about, to make sure that whatever you're quoting to a client feels really good, feels confident, and you're compensated for all of the other costs of doing business.
Okay, so Brooks chiming in here like, wow, $500 for an hour of personal training. lots of exclamation points. So what would you say to somebody like Brooke, where it is like the hourly, it is an hour of service or a half hour of service, but there are these other costs and, time.
Yeah. So I do work with a lot of trainers, and so trainers are in a unique situation because their time, it's difficult for them to leverage their time. They really can only work a certain number of hours in a day. And so you have to really be specific about your pricing. And what I try to do, if you can, depends sometimes on who you work for, if you work for yourself or if you work for a gym, whether you're able to do this, but I try to move people into packages. So I try to move people into a package and focus on the end result of that package and say then that package includes 5 sessions or 6 sessions or whatever the package is. But moving away from quoting an hourly to quoting a package is a nice way to really increase your fees in a way that is more about delivering results than about going from charging $75 an hour to charging $150 an hour.
So then do you have to bake in a whole other host of services along with that, or is it?
Yeah, it helps if you're trying to get premium clients, it helps to add in, some bonuses and things like that. And it's really actually easy to do because especially with women, we're already doing it. We're already delivering these bonuses and these extra services. We're just not charging for it. But there's simple things like checklists that you can provide or an assessment that you can do. Or a check-in. There are just really simple things that can help you beef up your package to make it feel really premium and VIP with a VIP price tag on it. But in actual time that you're delivering, it's still the same.
Okay, that makes sense. And you guys chime in if you have any other questions as we go through. I like what Kanani was just talking about, which I think a lot of us forget around the costs. And that includes your time, right? Outside of, because I've learned this as I'm coaching more, like that 1 hour is just 1 hour, but you have to prep before, you do a recap afterwards. Like there are, you answer an email in between. That's all time that you're taking. That's outside of the 1 hour that you're doing live, right? So time is one of those costs that you need to factor in as well.
Absolutely. So you want to think about all your costs that you have to run your business, and then the specific delivery, the cost of the delivery, any pre-work that you have to do, any post-work that you have to do, any interim work between sessions that you do, all of that should be included so that you feel really good and you can show up for your client at your highest level and feel really good about what you're doing.
Okay, so we've now looked at the cost. Now what else do we need to factor in?
Yeah, so once we've kind of decided, so we've looked at the costs, we've looked at kind of our marketplace to identify, and so I'm giving you guys this high level because later we can talk about how we can go deeper into this, but in the short amount of time, I can just give you the high level. But once you've kind of identified what that price point is and what the price point is that you want to take into the marketplace, you have to make that decision and you have to decide and you have to really for women, I think a lot of women have thought about raising their fees or their package, raising what they charge for a long time, but haven't actually done it yet. So the next step is to actually decide to do it. And I just want to give you some quick kind of some do's and don'ts when we're talking about pricing. So the first don't is don't use the word price. So really refer to what you're doing as an investment or a tuition, or use some other term that really is about them and not about you, because people are investing in themselves through you. So that's really key. I'm going to say it again because that's really key. People are investing in themselves through you. So you want to use the word investment when you can. If it makes sense in your industry, use the word investment. Try to stay away from words like cost and price. You want to get really clear about who it is that you want to work with. Who is your ideal client? Who is the person that would most benefit and get the best results from what you have to offer? You want to really understand your pricing structure. So once you understand what you're going to charge, you want to know, okay, so if it's $5,000, am I going to require payment upfront? Am I going to offer monthly payment plans? Am I going to offer a discount for someone who pays up front? You really want to be very clear about exactly what you're offering before you take that price and that investment into the marketplace. So get really clear on that. And that's different for different industries and different price points. So depending on, if you're only charging less than $500, then you might not offer any discounts, or you might not offer payment plans. But if your service is $5,000 to $10,000, you might offer a payment plan of 2 payments, or take a deposit and then have a monthly plan. That is all up to you, and it has to feel really comfortable for you. That's your decision, but you just have to be really comfortable and know what you're going to offer so that you don't get caught in that moment when somebody says, well, do you have a payment plan? They're like, I don't know. Well, how do I pay this? Or you want to be just really clear on what it is you'll do and what you won't do.
Okay, do you have a question or two, or do you mind interrupting really fast, Kanani?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kathy wants to know, how would you deal with a client who tries to negotiate your fee? So this is kind of what you were just saying, like you want to be firm in your belief, but we all, like, especially those that are on the newer side and trying to build, you're scared of losing a client, right? Yes. So that's when we get into this wiggle room of, oh, maybe I can do it, so what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so you're absolutely going to have people that that ask you that want to negotiate or that they want a discount. And so I want you, before you even are talking about investment, before you even answer that question, make sure that you've had the adequate time to really go through everything that your service or your product covers. So everything that person is going to benefit from, and all of the results that they're going to get. What are the problems that you're solving for that person? What are the pain points that you're helping to take care of for that person? Make sure you go through all of that before you even start talking about investment. Sometimes people get anxious and they interrupt, and they just want the bottom line. Tell me how much this is going to be. And it's almost like a doctor. So if you were a doctor and you had a patient come in, you want to diagnose. You can't just tell the person what's wrong with them and how much it's going to cost them. You have to really understand what they need to share with you information. You need to share with them information before you can give them an adequate quote of the investment. So make sure you do all of that first. Then if the person is still insistent on a discount, then really, as I said before, be clear in your mind. It's totally good. It's totally fine to offer discounts. I'm not saying don't offer them. I'm just saying know ahead of time what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. So have your boundaries in place around your investment levels. And if you're willing to offer a discount, what is that for? Is it for signing up and paying a deposit today? Is it for, signing on while we're still on the phone? You can get a kind of fast action type of bonus discount. Know ahead of time what that discount is going to be so that you can offer it. And then the last thing is, feel okay with not offering a discount and not negotiating your price. So if you feel really good about your price point, and it doesn't feel good to take it down any further, then lean out. Don't keep, going back and forth on it. That might not be the client that is for you. And it is totally okay to just hold your firm boundary.
Yeah. And it goes back to what you were saying before about having confidence in the value you're delivering, right? And having confidence in yourself, and being able to walk away is a tough thing. But oftentimes those people then are not the people you want to be,
right.
You don't want as your clients anyway.
Yeah. And you make a good point about when we're new in business and we just, we want to get experience. And in those cases, if it feels good to you, if it feels like the person you're talking with is an ideal client for you, and that you could really serve this person at a high level, and you really want to work with them, it's okay to go ahead and try to make that relationship work. So that, and if you're new in business, you can ask for testimonials. You can ask to quote them or to do a video Facebook Live with them when the program is done. So there are other ways to increase the value of that transaction.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, you have a couple other here.
Oh, great.
Other questions. Okay, Chitra says, would you recommend having a different package for someone who cannot afford your premium pricing, or do you just focus on premium clients?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and it's a mindset. So if you're only trying to attract if your ideal client is a premium client, then I would say what you can have, not necessarily a lower end package, but maybe, so for example, if it's a personal trainer, so maybe your ideal client is a high end and you have the 6-month program that you would love to enroll clients into, and it's at a higher price, and you speak to someone who you think maybe eventually could get to that level, but they're not there yet. And for those, I would offer maybe just another way for them to work with you that gives them kind of a taste of working with you. So maybe it's some, VIP workshop or 3-session package to help them to kind of get to see what you can offer them on a larger scale. But the goal would always be to kind of move people into that more premium service if that's your ideal client. Not everyone is after the premium clients. I personally think that's where you should be marketing your services, because I do think that's where you get the maximum bang for your buck. But that's not everyone. Some people want to be in the mid-tier market, and that's totally fine too. But if you have your eye on building a premium brand, you do want to move people up into that premium service.
But you can have tiers.
Absolutely. And you should have tiers, because you need a way, if you think about a triangle or a pyramid, the top is kind of your premium, and then you have maybe a mid-tier, and then you have a base. So you need a way for people. So maybe your base is, you have a Facebook group, which is free, and you give tips, and you share information, and that's your free way for people to kind of get to know you, get to know your brand. And then maybe you have a short-term program or package that moves people up. So now they're investing at a little higher level. They're getting a little higher level of service from you, getting to know you better. And then you still have your premium at the top.
Okay. Okay, so that was that. And then I know we have to go back to are we going back to the price?
Yeah, we're close. We're close. There's only one last piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
If we have questions, we can take
one more here.
Let's take it.
Some people do not list their pricing on their website so that they can first share the info on why the investment is so great. And then others feel like transparency is key. So what are your thoughts on, how transparent should you be on your website with pricing?
Yeah, so I personally don't share my pricing on my website. That's my personal philosophy on this. I do feel that I'm a coach, so I want to get to know the client, the prospective client, as much as they want to get to know me before I even know if it's going to be a fit, if what I have to offer is going to be right for that person, if I can really serve them in what they're looking for. So I do feel that conversation, however it takes place, phone, in person, that initial conversation is really important before you start talking about investments. However, that's my personal preference. I do know a lot of other coaches and a lot of other service providers who do have certain packages under a certain price point listed where people can, if you have an online cart and people can buy a program from you for $495 and it's right there, everything they need to know is right there. Absolutely, put it on there. But then maybe they have another service that's $10,000 and that requires a conversation before somebody invests at that level. So I do think that the dollar amount does have something to do with whether you just put it out there or whether you need to have that conversation.
Okay. So for some of these people out here who are like coaches, trainers, and they haven't developed these grandiose packages yet. They really are just doing the one-on-one sessions right now. What are the tips, or what do you suggest they do? Is it just to start focusing on creating what a package is?
Yeah, so this is I coach a lot of women on creating premium packages and pricing. That's another really hot topic. And so just in a really quick little nutshell, you always want to focus on the results that your clients are getting. So when you're trying to create a package, you really want to think about one of your favorite clients, your perfect client and what you took them through from A to Z and what were the results they got on the other side. And that's, you can create that, and that can be your signature system, your signature premier package. And it's taking somebody from this place to this place, and you know the results that they're going to get on the other side. And that's what you focus on to help build your package step by step.
Have you found though then that what happens is some people, their target audience completely changes? Like, I think that's kind of the fear for people, right? If they've been catering to more of a newbie or someone who's a little more price sensitive and they realize their value is here, but maybe their audience, who knows if their propensity to spend is there, right? So what happens in that situation?
Right. So that is a common fear that, you know, a lot of women have. So a lot of women, like I said, who want to go to a more premium or who want to go to package pricing versus hourly pricing, that is the fear that they're going to lose some clients. And that's true. You may lose some clients, but those aren't the clients that are meant to work with you. And they're not the clients that are going to really maximize and leverage your time and your income. So you really have to go back to, what is your goal? Is your goal to increase your income to a different level, take your income to another level? And to do that, you may have to let go of some of the clients, but you also don't have to do it cold turkey, and you don't have to do it overnight. It's not like you have to one day just say, okay, you know, today I'm going to go to this price point and, you know, goodbye, all these people I've worked with for all this time. You don't have to do that. You can phase it in with new clients. You can grandfather in your old ones if you really just want to keep working with them. There are a lot of ways that you can get yourself to that next level.
Okay. And how much is it important to look at who else is out there in your market?
Yeah, so it's good to look at that from a guideline standpoint, but I don't like, you know, there's so much. It's such a noisy marketplace. There's a lot of coaches. There's a lot of people offering programs at all price points. So while it's good to know what's out there to a degree, it's also just really good to be grounded in the value that you can provide for your clients with your service or product. And to go through the exercises like one that I just quickly gave to you to really get grounded and really believe in the value and in your worth of what you're offering. And that's the better anchor for your price point than anybody else out there in the market.
Okay. So I can't believe it's like we've just flown by in a half hour. Did we even get through like a quarter of what we wanted to talk about? But
yes.
News. Well, we can finish up. You can finish up with Kanani, maybe one or two things that we didn't get to. But the good news is that Kanani and I, are going to partner together to bring you more of a deep dive on this topic because it is such a hot topic. So basically, the whole idea that we're talking about today of how to price what you're worth and how to get that more premium dollar. We're going to be putting together a workshop. I think, what do we decide? Like a 4-week boot camp where we would deep dive more into everything that Kanani touched upon today and a lot more as well. Do you want to add a couple things on that?
So I do want to add one quick thing. The next, what I want to offer, because this is also really tied into your mindset, and mindset is key. It's the foundation to all of the confidence and knowing your worth. And so I'm a certified Sacred Money Archetypes coach as well. And so I would love to offer the Sacred Money Archetypes assessment to anyone who is watching this live or later. And I will show you a link. And if you download this, the archetype assessment is going to give you what your core authentic relationship is with money. And this is going to help you really ground yourself and guide you and provide you the confidence to really move into being, you know, if you're trying to take your income to the next level, this is going to help you uncover what might be holding you back that you might not even be aware of, and help you really move with grace and ease into being that person who can add a zero to it and feel really comfortable and charge it. So I want you to take advantage of that. And in addition to that, you'll take the assessment, and then there will be a link to schedule a complimentary session with me, and I will give you the reading. So you'll take the assessment, you'll have these numbers, and you'll be like, I don't know what this means. And then you'll jump on the phone with me, and I'll tell you exactly what it means for you and for your business. And then we can also talk, if you're interested at that point, we can also talk about the deeper dive into all of this work.
Yeah, which is great. I need to take that. I need to figure out money archetype. Is that what it is?
Yes, an archetype. It's awesome. People are blown away by the results. They're like, oh my gosh, that is so me. Oh my gosh. So
and I'm really psyched about the program that we're going to be bringing you guys together. I think it's probably going to be in the May, June timeframe. And we are still hashing out the kinks, but as I know I've talked about in my newsletter, and those of you that follow online people, I wanted to throw it out to you first, and I want to hear feedback from you. So I would love for you to comment to let us know if it's something you would be interested in. We are still talking through the price point because,
the investment.
Because Kanani is convincing me to maybe price a little bit more than I want to. Big shocker. Because, I still need some of this help too. But it'll be reasonable. So if you are interested, I would love for you to comment and just let us know so we can gauge some interest and build some interest in advance of actually launching. And we've discussed it maybe being like a once a week kind of a Facebook Live or a webinar, 3 to 4 weeks, an implementation week, and then maybe also doing me kind of taking you through something around your expertise and building your brand and expertise that then correlates to the money that you are then, asking for your services. So we will get you all the details. We're going to, I will get back to you on the pricing and the timing because we're just finalizing all of that. But comment below and let us know if you're interested. And if you want to even drop your email so I can start creating a list. And Kanani, if you download her download and then do the free consult, she will also have your information. So together, we will start to kind of be bringing you details on this program that will likely be the mid-May timeframe. Anything you want to add to that, Kanani?
No, I just would encourage people to really